Beruchim haboim. Welcome everyone. We're about to begin Be'ezras Hashem together on Daf Kuf Yud Amud Aleph, 4 lines from the bottom. Our Mishnah brought a principle, the following klal, that when it comes to refuah on Shabbos, if it's a food or drink that a healthy person would eat or drink, then even a sick person may eat or drink those things for medicinal purposes. In regards to a drink, the Mishnah then brought the exceptions, therefore, that a person who is not sick does not drink, and therefore, when it comes to mei dekarim or mei dekalim, as the Mishnah puts it, either it's waters that go between the dekel trees found in Eretz Yisrael, or it's waters that pierce the gallbladder. Those are things that are going to be only used for medicinal purpose, and therefore those are osur. The Mishnah also said there are mei ikarim, which now our Gemara discusses. Says the Gemara, v'kois ikarin. My kois ikarin. What is kois ikarin? Rabbi Yochanan Lesin miskal zuza kuma Alexandria. Bring a measure of a zuz of gum from Alexandria. Miskal zuza gavia gila, and a measure of a zuz of alum, which is in a rounded type of form. Umiskal zuza kurchama rishkama, and a measure of a zuz of saffron that is found in the garden. V'lishkechinu bahadi adodi, and grind these 3 elements together. And then this is what the Mishnah is referring to when it says kois ikarin. Lezava, to a woman who is a zava and menstruates more than normal, and there's an extra blood flow. Tlasa bechamra v'lo mi'akara. Then 3 of these components that are going to be mixed with wine, and then she will not become barren. Leirakoina, if it's going to be for jaundice healing, then train b'shichra u'me'erchar. Then 2 of these elements that we just mentioned, together mixed with shichra, with beer, and it will cause a woman to become sterile. Lezava tlasa bechamra v'lo me'ekra. 3 by a zava, we said just now, these 3 elements that are going to be mixed with wine, and it will not cause her to become sterile. V'iloi laisi tlasa, and if not, this is not possible, and a person nonetheless wants to then heal the zava, then bring 3 kapize shamki parsoi, 3 kalim that each one holds a 3 lug of Persian onions, v'nishloik bechamra v'nishke, and then cook them together with wine and have her drink that potion. V'nemol, and say to her, kum mizoivech, stop your flow. Now the Gemara is going to bring several different types of remedies in order to then be able to stop the flow of this woman who's a zava. The Eloi, if you don't have this as an opportunity, as a potential way of potion, then lus be aparshas drochim, then sit her on the crossroads, v'linkita kasa dechamra biyada, and place a cup of wine in her hand, v'leisi inish me'achora v'libi'asa, and have a person come behind her and scare her. V'leimola, and say to her, kum mizovech, stop your flow. V'ilov, this is also not a possibility. Leise buna de kamuna, bring a buna of cumin, ubuna de morika, or bring a fistful of saffron, ubuna de shavlisa, or bring a fistful of chilba, v'nishluk bechamra v'nashke, and cook them all together in wine and have her drink it. V'neimol, and say to her, kum mizoveich, stop your flow. V'ilo, if this is also not possible, laisi shisin shi'e de dana l'shifle, bring 60 covers of a clay, an earthenware type of barrel, and smear and heat it up and smear it on her skin. V'leimol, and say to her, kum mizoivech, stop your flow. V'iloi, and if this is also not possible, Lesin pishtina v'lishluk b'chamar v'lishvei. Then a certain herb, cook it together with wine, and rub it on her skin, and say to her, stop your flow. V'iloi, and it is also not a possibility, Lesin charnuga dehigto romiso, a certain herb called charnuga, which is found in a plant in a thorn bush, and v'likle v'lisbo b'shachki the kisna b'kaita, and then burn it and take the ashes and then rub it on her and put it into a linen rags in the summer. Ubeshachke the amar gufna besidva, or if it's the winter, then take cotton rags and put it inside there. The Eloi, and if that's also not a possibility, then lichri sheva biri, have her dig 7 holes. Velikli behu shabishta yalde de orla, and then burn a branch of a young orla tree. Velinkita kasa de chamra biyoda, and have her hold a cup of wine. Velukma meha velusba aho. And have her sit on one hole, then get up and then stand, and then sit on another hole, and get up and keep on doing this. On every one, say to her, kum mizoi vech, stop you from your flow. If this is not possible, laisi samido, then you should bring fine flour, liska mipalga letatoi, and then rub it on her skin on the bottom half of her body. V'iloi, and if this is also not a possibility, laisi besmida, v'leimole, and say to her, kum mizoi vech. V'iloi, and this is also not a possibility, to bring fine flour. Laisi be'ilsa deni imiso, bring an egg of an ostrich. V'likli v'lisbo b'shachti the kisna b'kaito, and then burn it and take the ashes and put it onto a sheet that is made, on the rags rather, that are made of linen during the summer. Ubeshachki the amar gufno besitvo, or on the cotton rags during the winter time, and put it and rub it on that way. V'iloi, if not, then liftach lo chavisa de chamra lishmo, then open up a barrel of wine for her sake, so that she'll drink a lot of it. V'iloi, if that's not possible, linkit siarto de mishtakachas bekfuso de kudno chivro, and if that's not possible, then take a barley that was in the dung of a white mule, and then have her hold it. Inokta chad yoimo, if she was able to holding it for 1 day, then poska trei yoimi, then she'll stop her flow for 2 days. V'inokta trei yoimi, poska tlosa yomi, then if she holds it for 3 days, then it will stop her flow for 2 days, then she'll stop her flow for 3 days. V'inokta tlosa yoimi paska la'olam, and if she's able to hold on to this barley for 3 whole days, then she will stop her flow forever. The Gemara now goes on and says, Lerekoino train b'shichro ume'okar. We said before an earlier statement that in regards to then healing jaundice, then take 2 of these elements that we mentioned before. Those elements were 1/3 of garden saffron, 1/3 of alum, which is in a rounded form, and 1/3 of a gum from Alexandria. So take 2 of those elements, and that will be a healing process, a potion for healing the jaundice. Says the Gemara, V'iloi, if this is not possible, Laisi reisha de shibuto de milcha, take the head of a salted fish, V'lishloik b'shicho v'lishti, and cook it into beer, and have her drink it. V'iloi, if that's not possible, Laisi moinine de kamtse, take the juice that comes from locusts, and then have her drink it. V'ileka minune de kamtsi. If this is not possible, laisi monune de nikre. Then take the juice from a small bird. V'laile lebe boni v'lishvei, and then bring her to the bathhouse and then put it on her skin. V'ileka bo boni. If there is no bathhouse, luk me bein tanur leguda. Then put have her stand up between the oven and the wall. If a person wants to heat himself up, he should wrap himself in a sardine, in a sheet. Rav Acha bar Yosef Chashbe, Rav Acha bar Yosef actually had such an illness of jaundice. Ovele Rav Kahana v'itze. Rav Kahana did this, and indeed he was healed. Says the Gemara Vayter v'ilo. If this is not possible either, then Laisi Tlasa Kapize Tmari Parsaita. Bring 3 of these kapize, of these kalim that hold 3 lugin each of Persian dates. V'tlasa kapize dekira denishderufe, and 3 of these kalim that hold 3 lugim of the wax that dripped from a honeycomb. V'tlasa kapize ohalo tolano, and again 3 kalim that hold 3 lugin each of aloe, which is red, tolas. V'lishlaquinhu b'shichra v'lishti, and then cook it with beer and have her drink it. V'ilo, if this is also not a possibility, lais ayla bar chamora, then bring a offspring of a donkey, v'ligloch mitziose dereisha, and shave the middle part of her head, v'lishbik le dama me'apuse, and then take the blood from the donkey's forehead, velus be areshe, and place it on the head in the middle of that part which was shaved. Velizar me'ine delo lisamilu, and be careful not to get any of the blood in her eyes, not to blind her. Ve'iloi, and if not, laisi reisha de bararcha de monach bekivsho, then bring the ham, the head of a ram that was soaked in juice, in brine, V'lishloik b'shichra v'lishti, and cook it with beer and have her drink it. V'ilo, if this is also not a possibility, laisi davar acher chutrona, bring a striped pig, v'likroi v'lus be'alibe, and tear out the insides and put it on the heart of the person, of the patient. V'ilo, if this is also not possible, laisi karti b'katush tusa the meshri, take the leek that's growing from the middle row, which is most strong, and that would be a healing element. The Gemara now brings the following Maisa. Hahu tayo the chashbe. There was an Arab who had this type of jaundice, and he was ailing. Omar le leginoi. He said to a gardener, Shokel gilmoi, take my cloak in payment, v'havli mishra dekarti, and give me from the row of the leeks that is growing in this field. Yohivle, the gardener gave it to him, va'achla, and the Arab ate it. Omar le, so the Arab said to the gardener, Ushlin glimoich, let me borrow your glima, your cloak, that I already then gave to you, I sold to you. Let me now borrow it. V'igni bekali, and I will sleep for a little bit. Ichrach gona be, he wrapped himself and he slept in this cloak. Kad ichamam v'kam, he then was heated up and he stood up. Nofa purta mine, because of the heat that was a result of the jaundice, together with the heat of his perspiration, it caused then the cloak to then disintegrate by pieces. Purta.